Hey everyone, it's Andrig with Andrig's Air Cool Technology, back again. Been a while since I posted any video content, but I've been working real hard on some new products. And behind me is my test rig for my lightweight cooling fan. And now fans, that's what I'm gonna announce here today, is that I've got new cooling fans that are gonna come available as soon as I can get the manufacturing equipment and start manufacturing. That has been an issue, but I'm doing just the final button-up testing here for airflow, and then once I get the production equipment and actually able to create the production version of the fan in terms of the material, that will be the only difference is material that's made out of a stronger, higher temp, material. We'll put it on the test engine over here and do the final torture testing up to 8,000 RPM, etc., just like I did in the previous version. So some of you may have noticed I'm out of stock on the other one, on the original lightweight cooling fan. These will be different design. The new ones, I'm going to have a version for early VW, so pre-71 Doghouse, so the early fan shrouds. One for that. Obviously one for the Doghouse fan shroud, 71 and later. We're gonna have a version for Porsche 356, which I actually just finished testing today, which worked great. And then I'm gonna have a couple other things for a whole new cooling system that I'm developing as well. So there'll be 3 versions come out as soon as I can get the manufacturing equipment. That's been an issue. I actually bought the equipment in January, and the expected ship date was mid-May, and that has slipped and slipped and slipped for a variety of reasons that I won't bore you with. But getting equipment has proved to be quite difficult lately. A lot of supply chain issues. The war in Ukraine's not helping either. So we definitely have issues in terms of getting the equipment. But really nice stuff. And here's let me show you quickly. This is the version of the fan, the final version of the fan for early VW. It has a totally different mounting system, and we're back to a centrifugal fan shroud, and I'll explain that in a minute. This is the version for Porsche 356, very similar to that. The fan shrouds are very close to each other, but there's a little bit of difference. And obviously you see these big round holes. That's specifically for the Porsche guys, that for the fan. They don't make Porsche 356 fans anymore at all. So those are 2. In the Doghouse one, I've got the OEM fan in that, and I'll be doing the final test on the Doghouse one either tomorrow or the next day. And we'll be really ready, just waiting for manufacturing equipment. I'll explain this test rig some other time, but and this may look funky, it's red and white, but I just ran out of 3D printing filament that was white, and what I had left was red, so it finished off red. So nothing odd there. It's not going to come like that, and this obviously won't be the material. This is just a PLA material that works fine for doing the testing, static testing in the test rig behind me. So I really appreciate the business. We sold a lot of these. A lot of people have had great success with them, but we had 2 customers in particular that posted some stuff on the Samba that kind of concerned me about the original design, which is why we've gone back to a squirrel cage centrifugal fan. So we always had a centrifugal fan, but squirrel cage style centrifugal fan. While I couldn't get measurements from their car, and one was a bay window bus, one was a Beetle. Most people with Beetle, that's the only one with a Beetle that's really showing any issues. The buses have been a little more interesting, although I've had some buses that worked great. So it's very difficult to tell just with the information that I've given and asked questions what might be happening, why they're not getting good performance from the cooling fan. But I suspect that it is to do with static pressure. So the thing that a squirrel cage advantage that a squirrel cage fan, centrifugal fan, has over a straight radial blade centrifugal fan is that as static pressure increases, you don't lose nearly as much airflow from the fan. And I have a feeling that is what is going on based on the information I could glean from those posts on the Samba. So we went back to squirrel cage centrifugal design so that we don't have that issue. Essentially, it'll perform better under all circumstances, no matter what. So there won't be issues with certain configurations, certain cars done certain ways, depending what kind of ventilation they have into the engine bay, no matter what speed they're driving at. Because like the bus owner in the Samba thread said that he was actually getting cooler temperatures when he was driving slower. So if as long as he stayed like in the 55 to 60 range on the highway and then just driving around town, on surface streets, etc., it was fine. It was working great. As soon as he went up, highway speeds, and he had a 2110 in his bus. As soon as he started driving, 70, 75 miles per hour, all of a sudden his temperatures would go way up. So I suspect at those speeds, those buses really weren't designed to be driven at those speeds, that there's something that's happening that's causing additional static pressure, more resistance to the airflow into the engine bay at those speeds than would normally be there. So that's all I could really glean from that. So we went back to the drawing board, and believe me, I've done hundreds of iterations of these things. It's actually pretty hard to create a centrifugal squirrel cage fan that's better than what that Volkswagen produced. But I eventually got there, and the testing's going really well. I'll be publishing those results of all the tests soon as well, and pretty soon we'll have a video as well talking about this test rig and how it works. I appreciate all the business, and sorry that I'm out of stock. If I had gotten the machines when I was supposed to get them to manufacture, I'd be manufacturing these already and probably not run a stack. It's just been the new product. So those of you who are waiting for ordering the original one, you're actually going to get an improved product anyway. So hopefully we're not causing too much problems in terms of your projects or whatever with having them out of stock, but because the demand's been pretty good, and I appreciate all the business. And we thank you for that, and we'll just let you go and check back here as well for the video describing the tests. Thanks. Bye-bye.